Hi, it's Chelsea.
And Chris.
And we are LBC Party of Five. Today, it's not going to be the upbeat that we're used to. And this isn't going to be the same part of our Sunday Shine Bright series, but it's something that we felt like we needed to speak on. With recent events, you all know what's going on. What happened last Sunday in Florida. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how to...
Yeah, you can obviously tell that we've all of us as a community have been affected. Us as a family have been deeply affected by the senseless act of violence, this massacre that shouldn't have never happened to begin with.
My first response, Chris had to warn me, my first response to it, I didn't even know, when we posted our last Shine Bright episode, we had no idea that it had happened until after it had posted. Otherwise, I may have pulled it back.
And I was like, did you hear about this? And it was
it's an automatic at 7 o'clock, so I had no way of knowing until I turned on my phone like I normally do any morning when I wake up, and I just scrolled through my feed, and I saw somebody post that, and I was like, what is this? What just happened? What am I missing? And I started to, read the story. It was only 20 people at that time. By the time that I heard about it, it was only 20 people, and I was in shock just over the 20. And the number one is too much.
One is way too much. Just the fact that that they targeted the LGBT community, and then later on to find out that it was Latin night, so it was a double hate crime. You specifically targeted a specific
race
group within a group, a subgroup. So that was pretty crazy to me. But it just goes to show you that horrible things can happen in the world, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a God, or people aren't capable of amazing things, which leads us into what we attended the other night, which was
they did have a candlelight vigil in our in my hometown. And we do have clips of that we will show at the end of this. And it was very helpful to me, and I'm so grateful that they did this. And it was someone that's not even, he's an ally, but he's not, he's not part of the LGBT community. He just felt it in his heart on Tuesday afternoon to be like, I need to do something about this. I need to do something. And he did. Within 2 days, he was able to put this together just with word of mouth and, social media. That's one thing that it was good for. Because I honestly, I had to get off social media. I couldn't read the negative comments. I couldn't, especially things from other hypocristians, we like to call them. I couldn't believe the hate that was being spewed all over the place. So I had to get off of social media. And there was one, I wanted to see these faces. I wanted to see who they were, because I know I get very emotional nowadays. Ever since her, I'm even more highly emotional, I feel like. But she knew. She had to warn me and be like, don't look at the pictures. Don't go through the pictures, because I can't. I'm tearing up right now thinking about all the faces. And what really got me was the story with Brenda, with the mother and son that attended that night. And she basically, she took the bullets for her son. Her son survived, but, sadly she passed away. But it just got me thinking. What? You want to say something about it? It just had me thinking, what do you do? As a mother, of course, that would be my first instinct. I'm going to protect my child before I'm worried about myself. But it just got me thinking of that aspect of it. My kids, how are they going to be affected by this? Because we're a same-sex couple. We're openly gay. Mm-hmm. And how is this going to affect them? Carter, really? Sorry. She's going to make this video light. Yeah. Okay? That's why she's here. But yet, how do you explain that to your kids, and how do you rationalize it to your kids? Because they've never, they weren't really, they knew what was going on. At least my son did with 9/11, and that's kind of what this was for me. was
Yeah.
like another 9/11.
Right.
Even though not nearly as many lives were lost, but
Emotionally,
it was the same
the impact
thing.
was pretty close to home.
And this time I feel like, I mean, don't nobody hate me for saying this, but for me, I feel like this affected me a little bit more because when 9/11 happened, I was a lot more young-minded. So it wasn't really, it impacted me, but it wasn't.
Well, you didn't really think grand scheme.
Right. I didn't.
You didn't think, big picture here, like the lives that were truly affected. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to discredit you and say that you were, you definitely were younger. I was definitely younger. I don't even think I was sober when on 9/11. Like 9/11 happened and we were at the bar, shut the bar down, blacked out, wasted, and that's how we coped. So to be older, like, we're grieving in a totally different way.
Yeah. So for I guess going back to the footage that we are going to show you, that really did help the healing process for me.
Right.
Because like I said, before going to this to the candlelight vigil, I didn't see any of the faces. I only saw maybe like the top 4. You know how they have it on Facebook, and then there's like you have to click on it to see the rest of the 39 people. Whatever. I never clicked on it, so I only saw the top 4 that were shown at that time. So to actually see it, but to be in that kind of setting, seeing it was helped me.
Right.
It was better for me to see it that way, right? Because I can see that there was a lot of people there. And for it to be Middletown, I don't know if y'all are in this area, but it's not that big. I mean, it's a pretty big city, but it's not like, I've never seen so many people come together for to support anything that was LGBT ever in my life in Middletown, and that's, like I said, my hometown. I've never seen anything like that, so it was helpful for me to witness all that, knowing that I was in a safe space and being surrounded by all this love and support, because there was everybody from all walks of life were there to support this same cause. So it was beautiful and heartwarming to see that, especially when we're seeing, online and there's just a whole bunch of hate. It was so nice and refreshing to see the total opposite that night. So I don't want to get too much into, because I don't want to get too upset and I don't want to get into the politics of it. Right. We just wanted to speak on it a little bit because it has been affecting us, and it's been making us, like, this whole week has been hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing that we had things to do to stay busy, so it wasn't like me focusing on that. But going back to work on Monday, it was just like I couldn't focus on anything. It was just it was crazy.
Right. But going back to what Chelsea was saying, that this act, this tragedy was not an act of God. And I think that people need to really remember that this was definitely not an act of God, and that if this is like when Chelsea lost her cousin, if this is making you turn away from God or maybe question your faith, just that was the purpose of this tragedy, to shake everybody's faith, to shake the LGBTQ community's faith, that they took away our sanctuary, our gathering place, our safe space.
During Pride Month.
During Pride Month. Like at our most vulnerable, that's when we were attacked. Those acts are intentionally to sway people away from our faith. There is a God. Jesus Christ is your Savior. If you believe that, we believe that. And that's not going to sway me from that belief no matter what happens, because
it's not going to stop us from being proud. It's not going to stop us from anything, from
God.
Living. It's not gonna stop us. It's not.
Right.
So whatever purpose that was really meant for, know you failed, because we're the way that we're coming back stronger.
Right. Absolutely. And just our prayers go out to all the families, anybody that was affected, who weren't there, who were victims, who were survivors. Our hearts and our prayers go out to you.
Praying for their peace.
Yeah, give them for peace. Just empathy for the people who may not have any kind of positive things to say about the LGBT community.
Still love them.
Still love them anyway. So
they know not what they do.
Yeah.
They just spewing that same hate that.
Right. So.
But anyway, yes, we need to get to the footage, because we do want to show you something positive.
Right.
That has come out of this, at least for us.
This is political. We are making a statement tonight because we are saying We have compassion, we show kindness, and we are deeply invested in love. And I'm not talking about the love that tolerates. If you want the love that tolerates, well, maybe take it to a different place. Because toleration for me, last I checked, especially when my mom and my grandmother invoked those words, were, oh my God, we just tolerate that kid because he's around, but phew, goodness gracious. And it puts us in a position where we feel potentially superior, or at least we can say something. That's not the kind of love I'm talking about. I'm talking about deference in a way that makes the person who we're facing, the person who we're looking at, more important than our own lives. That kind of love you see every single day when you see mothers taking care of their children, when you see children taking care of their sick parents, when you see first responders like policemen and firefighters going into danger in the line of duty to protect people they don't know. That's the kind of love you see every single day. So I challenge you, ladies and gentlemen, to make this political, but not in the way that is always talked about ad nauseum. Make it political, as in you are going to change the earth by asking all of the people around you to live your life in a way that's meaningful, in a way that is compassionate, in a way that is kind, and in a way that is genuinely filled with love. Not because we're looking for something, not because we're asking for an advantage, but because we believe that is the right way to treat humanity. If you agree with at least something I said, make some noise out there. Go out there and talk to someone else. Give them that little ounce of courage. So we turn tonight from 75 to 150 people to 200 people, and we keep it growing. We turn it 200 to 1,000, 1,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to a movement. So they hear us in New York City, up in Albany, every single place in DC, definitely in Orlando, and every single part from East Coast to West Coast, North to South. That Middletown cares, and we have the courage to say something about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand united together in love, in kindness, and most importantly, compassion this evening with a community that may be yours, may not be yours, but it makes no difference because we stand together tonight, united for the LGBTQ community, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to make a stand, we're here to make a difference, and we're here to let everyone know, all across the world, that they are always our brothers and sisters, regardless of where their walks of life are. So thank you so much for your time, thank you for your patience. Brian is going to kill me later on today, I'm sure I'll hear an earful, but I want to thank you one more time for the bottom and the top and the east and west side of every single part of my heart. Thank you so much for being part of this evening.
I'm going to be singing Titanium by David Guetta and Sia. This is probably one of the most powerful songs I think I've ever played on piano. It's so amazing. Raw. Yeah, so cool. What do you guys like?
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying no. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. You shoot me down, but I get up.
It's not really that important right now because tonight is not about me. Tonight is about 49 people like you and I who started off their night like any one of us standing here right now would. Texting our friends, getting ready, putting on your makeup, getting your new outfit ready, dancing in the mirror, excited to go out for the night and relieve the stresses of daily life. And I personally can't imagine adding the stress of some of these kids who are 19 years old who weren't even comfortable enough in their own skin yet to be out. They kiss their parents goodnight, say goodnight to your children, your brothers, your sisters, no idea in your mind that when you left, that was your goodbye forever. And look around you right now. What do you see? I want everyone to seriously take a look around right now. What do you see? I see friends, I see family, I see people. If you look around again, I see teachers, students, bartenders, mechanics, lawyers, singers. If I look one more time, you see gay, straight, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Christian, Albanian, Chinese, wherever you're from, Catholics, Muslims, atheists, everybody's here. All this diversity standing here right now together, inches away from each other, and yet there's no fear, there's no hate, and there's no prejudice right now. So what's the problem when we're not all together? That's what I don't understand. So tonight, maybe.
So we hope you enjoy the footage. We hope you, I don't know, we pray the same for you, that if it has been affecting you in any negative way, like there's always something positive, well. Right? And there's always something positive that can come out of any tragedy. Right. That's the one good thing. God can make anything that was made to harm us, right, our strength.
Right. And He will give you double for your trouble. So just stand on that. Stand on that. All right, guys.
We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.
Don't be afraid. Come on, Middletown. Just as long as you stand by me. We love you, Orlando. So darling, louder.
Stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
Now find somebody you know, find somebody you love, or a stranger, give them a hug. Tell them you love them in solidarity, guys. We're here together.